All right, and good morning. Hey, look at that. I already I have a thing for screwing up openers. It's messed up. Anyway, my name is Rob. You guys know that. Normally Jackpot does this stuff with me. I forgot to do the basement bookie pick, so I thought I would jump on here really quick. Just got back from the gym. Thought I would knock this out. Maybe take if you guys wanted, give you some picks, whatever. My thoughts on picks anyway. Um, yeah, anyway, so the big thing today is the basement bookie pick. Shout out to Octavian. We will not see him after today if South Carolina beats his Lizards. So there's that. Daniel says, "Go Big Orange. Fuck Texas A&M." Look, if you guys could end in a scoreless tie, that would be awesome. I mean, I don't really have any love for either one of those teams, so there's that. Then we got Mike saying hello. Hey, appreciate you as well. All right, I don't want to take away. I think Uncle Lou does his game day stream here in a moment. I don't want to screw with his numbers. By the way, Uncle Lou is like he's a juggernaut, man. Like, I mean, that guy puts out some good stuff. So anyway, if you want to join, I'm going to talk to about 9 o'clock this morning. But the link is in the bio there if you want to have it. That also in the bio is the link for Jackpot's live stream today. If you want to see a true, genuine fan of a shit organization, I mean, Jackpot lives and breathes South Carolina. You guys know that as well as I do. But he'll be running his mouth later today, so be sure to to check him out. You won't find very many fans like Jackpot. You really won't. All right, so a couple of things here. First of all, make sure you get your picks in for the Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. The link is actually on the website, robandkaleshow.com. Be sure to check into that. Peg and Megan says it's too early for my ignorance. He finally spelled two correctly. Thank you for that, Peg and Megan. Link is in the bio there if you want to join the show. Do a quick little thing here this morning. Let's go ahead and get the basement bookies picks out of the way. Look, here's the thing. If you are someone who likes to bet on college football games, there's a chance that you are pretty fucking stupid. You might as well be somebody that is going to have some good information. The basement bookie, in 8 weeks of picking, giving you numbers, etc., on this game, has picked 7 out of 8 weeks correct. Now, that is unheard of anywhere that you want to go. If you don't believe me, go back and look at. I mean, we put these things up. You can verify everything that has been put out there. The basement bookie is stupid good with his picks. So here's what you need to do. Don't be an ignorant dumbass this morning. Go and subscribe to the basement bookie. And here's what we'll do for you. I have set it up with the basement bookie where you can get 2 weeks for free. Okay? Think about that. You go right now, you'll get all of today's college football picks, all of tomorrow's NFL picks. You can make educated picks with your stuff as you set up your bets this morning. So there's that. Go and check them out. The link is in the bio. 2 free weeks. After that, it's $5 a month. I mean, you Tennessee folks, you get that from your welfare check. You're going to spend that on crack anyway. Might as well spend that $5. Then you can get more. You can get you a brand new crack pipe. You don't have to smoke it out of a can or whatever the fuck it is you guys do up there. Get your own. Peg and Megan with a dumb comment this morning goes, "What's up with the scar? I'm guessing your boyfriend was grinding you into the headboard." No, sir, your mom crossed her legs. That's what happened right here to my head. So there's that. All right, anyway, here is the pick from the basement bookie for today. Quote, "I'm feeling fucking patriotic. Plus Wyoming sucks a dick on the road. Air Force wins big. Take Air Force minus 10.5. Hey, that's the way to go. Check out the Air Force this afternoon. Shout out to Sancho, who's over there. Also, Cynical Aries. Appreciate that. Last night, my phone, by the way, was blowing up with people like, "Hey, Rob, are you watching the game with Stanford and Colorado?" I don't know why people are like so crazy about watching Colorado fail. First of all, yeah, they won They're 4-2, 4-3, whatever the hell it is they are. Here's the thing. Nobody thought they were going to be worth a shit anyway. Deion Sanders came in and shined up a turd and won 4 games, and people lost their damn minds. So I don't know why people are so crazy about, let's hope Colorado loses. Who gives a shit? Do you wake up on Saturday morning and clap your hands and say, you know what? I want to go and watch Colorado football. Not unless you're betting on it. Not unless you're betting on it. So let's just stop the nonsense. Okay? Why does anybody give a shit about Colorado football? Peg and Megan says he'd love to tell us why. All right, well, Peg and Megan, I'm going to give you the link right now. I hope that you've got your hope that you are wearing clothes. We don't need any nonsense this morning. Make sure your hair's combed. There we go. I just sent the link right there. It's in the bio, but right there. I don't understand why people are so obsessed with Colorado. I don't give a shit. I'm more if I'm betting on Colorado, I would care, but with this other stuff, I just don't care. I just truly do not care. All right, link is in the bio there. Some of the picks for today. I was going to look at. Let me pull up some of these games. And I'll give you just my quick random thoughts on these games today. Some of them are interesting. Some of them are not. What is it? Auburn and LSU play today. That's part of our Pick'em challenge. You guys remember when that game actually meant something? Like we talked about that game during the summer, about how important that game was, and then all of a sudden now it's not worth a shit. All right, let's welcome in our first guest, Octavian. What's up, buddy?
Hey, where's Jackpot? Where is he? Is he still alive?
Jackpot's going to get beer for his live stream, and he does not need your permission, sir. You may be calling Jackpot Daddy later when his team stomps your damn lizards down there.
Oh my god!
Look, here's the thing: Florida's 4-2, 2-1 in conference play, and they are a 2.5 point dog on the road. 2-4 South Carolina. Think about that. Remember the days when Florida was worth the shit, and now, back when you had murderers and rapists and all that shit on your team, now you don't. So now you got a guy who looks like he's, I don't know. He looks on the sideline sometimes like he's.
I just want to let him know the Gators are invading Willie B today, and we gonna stump them. We gonna stump them. I'm just checking on him before he have a stroke because
he's not.
He cried last. He cried the Tennessee and Georgia game. Today, when he lose, he's gonna have an epic meltdown today, and I want you to watch it. I'm gonna be here to watch it. I'm gonna be on here live stream.
I'm going to be watching the game because I'll be on the radio talking about it this afternoon. But stop thinking that you're relevant, sir. You're not a relevant football program, right?
We're all relevant. We are relevant. We're gonna beat the shit out of the South Carolina Gamecocks, and we're gonna have roasted Gamecocks tonight.
All right. Well, thank you, Octavian. You have a wonderful football Saturday.
Go Gators and beat the Gamecocks.
All right, there you go. Let's add Peg and Megan to the stream. Peg and Megan, what's up, buddy?
I'm doing my best not to overdose on stupidity after that last call.
I tried to be nice. But you see how that shit works.
Surely he's got a caretaker who knows better than to let him near that phone. Hopefully he's wearing a helmet right now.
I don't understand how he's got internet. I thought there was something that kept folks from Florida from having internet. I don't know.
I'm going to address your nonsense, but one more thing, just a direct message to Octavian.
Mm-hmm.
4 losing seasons in the last 10 years, and you're possibly staring at your next one right now. Every time Florida loses a game, he points to if they happen to own the series over whoever they lost to, he points to, well, we still own the series. Like that's what matters.
That's like saying, hey, let's talk about all the national titles that Princeton has. They have more national titles than Georgia does. That's the same kind of nonsense and bullshit.
That's exactly right. And I don't know how to take it when you make sense, Rob. So you're scaring me a little bit.
Anyway, go ahead. What you got?
On to Deion. Do you seriously not know why people enjoy rooting against him?
I think it's because he's a loudmouth asshole. That's probably but I just on that front, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let Deion Sanders ruin my football Saturday with his nonsense about, hey, I brought in a bunch of fucking transfers and I'm going to dominate football. No, you're not. Shut up.
That's part of it, but it's the way that the media refuses to let him fail, and it's the overexposure. He is now on the Tim Tebow level as far as being overexposed. That and maybe Taylor Swift.
You think he's reached the Tebow level? Seriously? I mean, I'm not trolling you here. You think that he is at the point with the media where they're stopping everything that they're doing and talking about, hey, Deion Sanders lost another toe today?
Have you turned your television on in the last 9 months? Yes,
That's
absolutely.
I don't know. I guess I'm just so, being someone that has done media stuff forever, I don't let that get to me. And I know which way they're trying to spin it. And you know this too. The thing with college football is that it comes down to they want to draw women and younger folks into it. They don't want the typical person like you and I that's between 30 and 60 that's going to watch college football regardless. But if they can get my wife to watch 8 minutes of game day so they can go and pitch to Revlon, look, we got the women that they're going to come here and they're going to watch game day, and then they'll have Revlon commercials in game day. And I think that's what it all boils down to is the advertising dollar. But I don't give a fuck about Deion. I really don't.
Also, when you advertise Revlon, you get the entire Florida fan base excited. So not just the women, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
And I've got facts to back that up, by the way.
Sure you do.
No, your head must be in the clouds, though, if you don't see the overexposure level, particularly with ESPN.
I do, but then the thing with ESPN is that they're going to latch on to the next thing, man. They're like Nancy Grace with college football. Nancy Grace is always looking for her next kidnap victim so she can go and set up wherever the hell this is and talk about how shitty the parents are and the police officers and show stills of this kid that's probably laying face down on a beach somewhere. Yeah. That's what Nancy Grace does, but that's what ESPN does. What flashes the quickest and how can we get the most reaction out of it?
Yeah, on that topic, does Nancy Grace not have the most punchable face on television?
I think Billy Napier's face is punchable too, but if we were doing a bracket, she would be a top 4.
Now, speaking of faces, did I call that right? Was that your boyfriend just kind of grinding your face?
No, I told you your mom crossed her legs. That's what happened.
I got you. Well, everybody's mom needs to be serviced every now and then. So I appreciate it, Rob. That was money well spent, Rob. Appreciate it.
Yep, I do what I can for the people.
Who does Dabo play today? Little old Clemson.
They play the bye week. I think they're going to dominate.
Congratulations on that.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to he'll come up with he'll find something where he's been a victim during the bye week to cry about.
Well, you know what Dabo Sweeney's doing today? He was doing, the baptisms at practice in the baby pools. Now he wants full-size baptism pools right next to the football facility there when they have their fall and spring practice and all that in fall camp. He wants to be able to walk over to a nice pool so he can baptize people and not be in a baby pool. So he's out today trying to raise money for that instead of looking in the transfer portal for, I don't know, offensive linemen, a kicker that's worth a fuck. That's what he should be doing, but he's trying to get a diamond-encrusted baptism pool for the practice facility. That's where he's at today.
Or possibly maybe visiting his brother at the federal penitentiary there. So
I don't know if he's doing all that or not, but I'm pretty sure on the baptism thing, that's probably where he is.
Well, I got to go get my pregame, my steak for the game. So I'm going to duck out of here. And I know Octavian.
Are you watching the Vanderbilt game today? Why?
Maybe the first half. I want to be sure we don't get anybody hurt. If I'm Kirby Smart, Brock Bowers doesn't even get on the plane. He stays on house arrest, wrapped in bubble wrap today. So
that's the kind of game where you could lose somebody for.
Shut up, Rob.
So I'm just saying, it's not just you; it's everybody else.
Yeah, I think it was 2005. Florida or Georgia was really good that year, and Mark Rick, your boyfriend, pulled his magic against Florida. But the previous week, I don't think we had a bye week at that time. And DJ Shockley was on fire that year. What does he do? Routine play, runs out of bounds. Vanderbilt had some uneven turf, and he twists his knee, so he's out for the Florida game. We had Joe Tarashinsky, who was a linebacker, trying to play quarterback the following week versus Florida. And naturally, Mark Rick goes to Jacksonville and did what he always did in Jacksonville, was lose to a bad Florida team that year. It possibly cost us a national title, but I think we won the SEC that year anyway.
Let me ask you a real question before you go get your steaks. Are we getting to a point now where everything that revolves around football? Why is it that Vanderbilt can continue to be a shithole and underfund their program and do things like have uneven turf? And let's be honest, put other teams at risk, because that can't happen, because they don't give a shit about their football program. If they did, they'd be better than they are. Is it going to get to a point where we look at Vanderbilt and say, you know what, we don't want you here, and the SEC kicks them out and they go and get someone else?
Rob, unfortunately, you should have asked the previous caller that question. That requires the kind of cognitive analysis that I'm not capable of. Now, Octavian clearly is the man with that kind of a brain bubble on him. So maybe he'll call back in and you can get a deep answer,
that's something that I've been thinking about. I think we're going to get to a point where they did it to Temple a long time ago and kicked them out of a conference. I think we're going to get to a point where, hey, you're getting all this TV money, we can kick you out of the conference. And let's just be honest, no one gives a shit about baseball. It's all about football.
That's true. And also, let's be honest, that what would surprise you at this point when it comes to conferences and kicking people out and bringing them in? I mean, it is the wild, wild west right now. So nothing would surprise me.
They already have a team in Tennessee from Tennessee, so why have a second?
Yeah, well, that's one way to look at it too.
All right, brother. Well, you have a good football Saturday, and we'll talk with you later on.
See you.
All right. There you go. Peg and Megan bringing his nonsense to the program this morning. And he's over there. I bet Peg and Megan is wearing a bedazzled tube top today with the South Carolina logo on it. Some comments before we get out of here. Papa B says Dion took Colorado's Instagram from 62,000 followers to 1.1 million followers. Awesome. I mean, they won 4 games. Great. Detailer says Rob has those fancy wife beaters from the Chum Lee collection. Okay, fair enough. This is actually just a workout shirt from from when I went to the gym just a few minutes ago. Daniel says Vandy is a charter member. They can't be kicked out. Well, under that logic, when you stop and think about it, did you ever think that Texas would leave the Big 12? Things change. Things change. And I think that it's going to get to a point where they're going to have to pay the piper a little bit. All right, you guys, I'm going to give you any of my picks here. Let me give you a couple before we get out of here today. The Basement Bookie's pick was Air Force minus 10.5. So there's that. Make sure you go and hammer that because the Basement Bookie is correct majority of the time. Georgia's a 32.5-point favorite over Vanderbilt. Not in our contest, though. These are just from ESPN. I think that they're going to smoke Vanderbilt. 32.5 maybe. The over and under is at 54, so I guess they're thinking it's going to be 42-10, something like that. If Vanderbilt scores a touchdown, Will Muschamp will make that defense run the stairs while people are leaving. And he should, because Vanderbilt is a shithole. Indiana and Michigan. Michigan's a 33-point favorite. I read some stat where, the Michigan defense has scored more points than some Big Ten teams' offenses this year. So they're a 33-point favorite over Indiana. Let's see here. Peg and Megan says, thanks for going live. Yeah, I'm going to try to do more of these. I don't want to step on what Jackpot's doing. And my job during the day, I mean, I work from home, so I could set something up and do a little bit. I just forget about it, to be honest with you. If you guys are going to tune in and watch, then I will do some more of these. Fair enough. There's that. Syracuse and Florida State. Syracuse will continue their swan. Look for Florida State to dominate. Papa B says Vanderbilt would beat Colorado by more than 21 points. Jesus, Papa B. Are you drunk? Are you drunk? Let's see here. Other matchups in the top 25. Oregon and Washington at 3:30 today. That's the best 3:30 game of the day, by the way. If you're into the stuff from the Pac-12. Michael Penix Jr. out there going up against Bo Nix. I think Oregon beats the shit out of them, by the way. Just my opinion. Washington's a 3-point favorite. Texas A&M and Tennessee. BBD texted me last night and was talking about how he thought that Tennessee was going to I was like, I think that A&M is going to give them problems because with the defensive line, he thinks they're going to run around the defensive line. I don't know what that means. I think if A&M plays with the effort that they played against Alabama as far as stopping the run, then Tennessee's going to have issues today, and they're not going to be able to run the ball. So with that, that goes on the back of Joe Milton III there. And if Joe Milton III is forced to throw, I mean, let's be honest, he's not Hendon Hooker. I know you guys are in love with beating me up over Tennessee and all that, but we can all be honest with ourselves. Joe Milton is not Hendon Hooker. He's not. So if I'm A&M's coaching staff, and by the way, Jimbo Fisher is a tool bag, but if I'm A&M's coaching staff, I think that I'm going to go with we're going to stop the run and make this guy beat us. And if he does, you tip your hat and you move on. So there you go. Tennessee is a 3-point favorite at home. Kansas and Oklahoma State. I don't even like Oklahoma State's playing better football, but they're at home. They're a 3-point dog to Kansas. What does that say about your program? You're a 3-point dog to fucking Kansas. Auburn and LSU, a game that used to mean something. Jalen Daniels is thrown for right at 2,000 yards, 19 touchdowns through the air. Man, that's impressive. But LSU is still 4-2, 3-1 in conference play. And here's the thing: they got to get through this game with Auburn, who is yet to win a conference game. But if I remember correctly, the LSU folks, so they have one loss in conference, and that was to Ole Miss. They've still got Army. I mean, they've still got to play Army, which they didn't duck them. Take notes, Tennessee. But they've also, if they can get through these next two games, they've got Alabama. LSU, even though they have 2 losses, has an outside shot to make the SEC championship game if they can beat Alabama and then roll through the rest of the schedule here. So the road is still open for them to get to Atlanta. Now, if you're one of the SEC lower back tattoo folks, you are rooting against them. You don't want anything to do with them. You want them to drop a game and move on and just, be the best 3-loss SEC team. That's kind of what you want. All right? Because if they go to the conference championship game and they're playing a Georgia team, and let's say that Daniels goes in there and throws all over the field and they get the upset over Georgia, you're looking around and it's like, hey, wait a minute. We have a 2-loss SEC team here. That's not going to make the college football playoff if everybody else has 1 loss, because I think the majority of and this is not even me running my mouth about the conference. It's the fact that I think the selection committee has a hard-on for the Big Ten. And if they can get Ohio State and Michigan in there, they're going to do it. If they can get a Pac-12 team in there, they are going to do it. If they get a Florida State team in there that runs through the conference and goes 12-0 and wins the ACC, if they have undefeated across the board, ACC champion, Pac-12 champion, Big 12 champion, they're going to bring one SEC team in here, but they're not going to bring another one. So if you're an SEC fan, you don't want anything to do with LSU, which, what's the line? They may be the most dangerous 2-loss team in the country. We shall see. Daniels can throw the ball a lot. But to be honest, I think when if they play Georgia in the SEC championship game, they're probably going to win. Probably going to win. So there's that. Anyway, let's look back here. A couple more games before we get out of here. Southern Cal and Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I thought was going to be better than they are. And I'm at the point with Notre Dame now where, you know what? You're Notre Dame. Every year they're going to be a top 10 team because the AP is going to push them, sort of like they push Big Ten teams. But I'm not a fan of Lincoln Riley. So, I mean, if I had to pick tonight, I would go with Notre Dame. I wouldn't bet on it, though, because there's a lot of variables there. Is Williams going to go off? Is the Notre Dame defense going to suck? What's Sam Hartman going to do? So many different things that can throw you off there. Game of the day in the ACC, Miami and North Carolina. Miami's has Mario Cristobal lost that locker room? It's a very fair statement to ask here because, hey, the debacle last week where Georgia Tech beats them. Yeah. And they're playing against, North Carolina where Mac Brown doesn't look like he knows where he is anymore. So Miami and North Carolina, I kind of like North Carolina there. Cynical Aries says, imagine a conversation between Octavian and Biden. It would sound like you ever see the I don't know what African folks are, but the ones that click, that's how it would, click, that kind of thing. That's how that conversation would go. Or they just stare at each other. Someone would say, go Gators. Someone would say something else silly. It would just not be very good. We don't need that in our lives there. Missouri and Kentucky tonight. Kentucky's a 2.5-point favorite. Shout out to Big Barney Ross, who sent me a T-shirt that I'm going to wear on tomorrow night's show that you folks will enjoy. Kentucky's a 2.5-point favorite. I look for Missouri to win that game. I'm not impressed with Kentucky at all. And I'll tell you why. 4 cupcakes and they played 4 cupcakes and they hammer Georgia or Florida. They go to Georgia and they look like shit. I don't know if at Kroger Field's gonna help them. I think that Missouri's a little more tested. They did lose to LSU, but they looked like they needed to be on the field with them. They didn't look outmatched. They beat a Kansas State team at home. Memphis is going to be a team that I think is going to be pretty good the rest of the season. They beat them too. So when I step back and look at it, I think Missouri's more tested, but I do think that Drinkowitz is a dork, which, by the way, if you Google dork, a dork is a whale penis. So there's that. Drinkowitz is a dork. He is a whale penis who, Don King used to say, only in America. What a great country we live in. If you are an aspiring person that is a complete idiot, like, I don't know, Octavian over there, you can be the coach of an SEC program. Drinkowitz is a fucking moron. That's just the truth. This guy's a complete zero, and he's making $6-7 million a year to coach in the SEC. So you keep pushing whoever it is you are. You can move your way up and be a coach in a Power 5 conference, because there's a slew of dorks that are out there. Mel Tucker having phone sex on the phone with a sexual awareness worker. Yeah, I mean, there are dopes everywhere. You can have an opportunity to do that. Big Barney Ross says Missouri wins, Kentucky never wins after a Georgia loss. That is a fair statement. It's almost like you lose the game, then lose the game afterwards. Florida, when they play Central Florida, they lose the game and the fight afterwards. So that kind of happens too. I was roaming around this morning when I head to the gym, and I seen all these Florida flags, going down the road. I'm like, Jesus, these people travel. So they'll probably have, I don't know, 15,000 fans down there, I would guess. Maybe less. I don't know. As Billy Napier and the Lizards take on the Gamecocks tonight. 2-4 South Carolina team, 2-3 South Carolina team, playing a 4-2 Florida team, and they're a favorite at home. Interesting. Also, you've got NC State and Duke today. Duke is a 3.5-point favorite over NC State. I don't know if Riley Leonard is going to be able to play for Duke. If he does play, then I don't know if he's going to be completely 100%. We talked about how the South Carolina matchup was Tennessee's Super Bowl. This is NC State's Super Bowl. If they can beat Duke after all the love that Duke has gotten this year, these guys are going to go insane over there. All right, anyway, Basement Bookie pick today. Make sure that you hammer Air Force over Wyoming. People are in love with Wyoming. Air Force is there. Link is in the bio for the Basement Bookie. $5 gets you free picks. Be an educated bettor. All right, you don't want to have as many bad bets as Big Barney Ross has had bad divorces. Okay? Go to the Basement Bookie. Link is in the bio. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Make sure you get your picks in for the Rob and Kale show. Callaway's Pick'em Challenge. And I think that's it. I appreciate Peg and Megan, Octavian, whoever else came on the program. Jackpot stream will start later today. Be sure to watch Jackpot as he loses his shit either way. Whether win or lose, he's going to get pissed off at some point. Jackpot Remix will be up on Monday afternoon if you don't want to watch all 4 hours. I encourage you to watch the 4 hours because you never know which way he's going to go. But watch the live stream today. I'll be checking in the chat throughout the day. I'm on the radio on WVOC. If you want to do the post-game show, check that out on the iHeartRadio app, WVOC.com. You can hear us probably kick off right at 6 o'clock. 3:30 start. It's a 6 o'clock. Justin Hall, former Gamecock Tim Frisbee, and I will be doing Sirius Radio today if you guys want to check us out for that. All right. As always, I appreciate y'all. You guys are a big part of what we do here. You're awesome, and we will see you later on.